Hello everyone, this is Whitebox here once again. This is going to be my second attempt at this matchup. Made a couple of big mistakes in the first one, so I'm going to be giving another shot with Downpour against the Kingdom of Scotland, level 6. We'll see if I can do better this time. So my first draw here is going to be Wetlands. It's a little bit different. Alright, and then I can go into my first turn. So I'll be able to defend land A2 with a repeat of Unbearable Deluge, so I don't really have to worry about that one this turn. I might be able to just let land A5 Ravage as well. I'm not sure that I really care about that. So I can use this turn to just kind of grow and set up for things, and I think that'll be alright. So let's go with a similar start to what I did last time. I'm going to go for +1 energy, add a presence, which will be from bottom, and then gain a power card. Got Carapace Land. That's pretty good, especially if I can repeat that. It becomes an insane amount of defense. 0 cost is good. Entrancing Apparitions. It's got air and water, which is nice. Defend 2, but it's not free. Gift of Living Energy, it's okay. Song of Sanctity, also just okay. So really I'm between Entrancing Apparitions and Carapace Land here. Oh, there should be a beast right there. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, let's figure that out. Well, also I realized I was going to look up the rules for exports, fuel inward growth, so I'll be right back. I'll cut this out in post. I think, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's before the card slides, so it's going to be the land that just Ravaged gets an extra town. Can't find a definitive ruling about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah, I don't know. I think Carapace Land here is better than Entrancing Apparitions. I really prefer 0 cost cards because they're easy to repeat, and it can be insane defend, so that's the way to go. Alright, I get to add a presence at a range of just 1. 3, actually. Let's go in here. That's fine. And I'll be able to push that guy out and isolate him so that they don't build, which is probably okay. I think that's a good start to this particular game. So I get another energy. I'm going to use that to pay for Dark Sky's Loose Stinging Rain. Going into fast powers, I'm going to push this Explorer into land A8. Oh, there shouldn't be a blight there. Also, my Dahan are set up from the end of last game, so I'll fix that real quick. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's set up. Next, I'm going to go to the invader phase. So they will, I'll flip an event just for timing. Then go to the build. So they're going to build in wetlands. That one's isolated, so nothing happens. And then explore mountains. Alright, and I have no slow powers, so I'm going to discard cards and go back to growth. And I will be able to defend A2. It might actually be worth doing it with Carapace Land so that the Dahan can fight back, and then I can maybe even kill some stuff with Foundation Sink into Mud. I won't have enough repeats for that, so that's okay. Well, actually, I might. I just need one repeat. So, yeah, let's try this. So I'm going to go Growth 2, add 2 presents from bottom. I'm going to throw these into this land so I can figure out how to deal with that later. I'll move a presence in there. Don't get I get 1 energy for presence. And I'm going to play Carapace Land and Foundation Sink into Mud. I have 4 water, so yeah, that's going to be good. Actually, yeah, I get defense 6 there. Cool. Yeah, this is going to be a nice turn, I think. So let's go straight into it. So first I'm going to use Carapace Land. I have the Threshold with 2 Earth, so it's defense 6. And I'm just going to use that in A2. I don't have to repeat it, so I won't. So I'm just going to defend 6 here. I have 4 water. So I'm going to use... Well, I'll wait until the slow phase to figure out what I want to do with that. So, yeah, that's fine. Cool. Not target the same way. Okay, yeah, I'm all set. So, yeah, Carapace Land is good. I don't have any of my innates, which is fine. So let's go into an event. I've got Eager Explorers on each board. After the first successful build action, add 1 Explorer to an adjacent land without invaders. Okay. Beast Chase Off Homesteaders. On each board, push up to 2 towns or 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with beast. Sure, that's good. I'll push that. I'm only defending 6 there, so I don't want to push it in there. So I'll do it into that land. At their gates, demanding redress. 2 fear per land with Dahan and cities. 2 fear. Okay, that's pretty good. Then we get to the Ravage. So the Ravage here, this Dahan will take a damage. Then it'll fight back. I'm going to do 1 damage to each of these cities. After the Ravage step, I add a town into an inland land that matches that Ravage card, so that'll be an A5. Then I go build, so they're going to build in mountains. That's actually not isolated, so they will still build there. But it's not a city, it's just a town. And they'll build there. And then explore mountains. So that's a little dangerous. I'll go there. Out there. And then from their escalation, port sprawl outward. Put that up there. Alright, so lots of stuff on the map already. Okay, so that's Scotland 6. Let's go into my slow phase. I'm going to repeat Foundation Sink into Mud, use it twice here to do 2 damage to each city, which kills them both. Gets me 1 fear card and 2 more fear. And then I don't have energy to repeat it again, so I'm just going to gain an energy with the other 2 water that I have. And I realized as well I needed to discard these cards as part of that growth option, but that's okay. Sure, I think that's good. So yeah, I'm all set. I'm going to discard cards and go back to growth. I do have to reclaim. I'm going to gain a minor this time. Call to Trade is quite good. That we'll save that Ravage in A1 so I don't have to worry about it, and I can always Foundation skip into Mud to do stuff there. I do need a Dahan there, but I think that'll be alright. Actually, this is a really good draw. Let's see, Gift of Power is... I can't repeat that, so that's really the only one that I don't want. I'm pretty sure Call to Trade is going to be the play. That's very good. And perfect elements. All that I need. It's fast. Stops ravages. Yeah. Let's go with Call to Trade. Reclaim cards. I can move a presence at a distance of 2. I'll be able to make each of my presence this turn do a lot of defend, so I think I can just get up in there. That turns that into a wetland as well, so both mountains are wetlands this turn. A little interesting. And I get 1 energy for presence. And I have 2 card plays. So let's see what I can do. So I think if I won't be able to hit the 2nd level here, so I won't be able to get enough defend from Rain and Mud Suppress Conflict to really do much. But I can play Unbearable Deluge to defend both those lands enough, and that'll be fine. So let's do a 2nd card. Let's see. Gift of Abundance to get some energy. Maybe okay. Or I can roll right into Foundation, sink into Mud. I only have 1 repeat though, so won't be able to kill a city. But I might need to in order to get enough defend for those lands next turn. So, and I need to use the repeat on Unbearable Deluge, so that's okay. So I'll save Carapace Land for next turn, save Foundation, sink into Mud for next turn. So maybe just Gift of Abundance. Let's see, that won't give me Water Nourishes Life's Growth, so that's okay. Isolate's not super helpful here. I don't know which stage 2 card is coming up. So I could underplay and just play Unbearable Deluge, save stuff. I don't feel like I'm going to get a lot from playing another card, and it'll probably be better to have a lot of options next turn. So yeah, let's do that. So let's stick with 1 card play. It's free. I have 2 water, so I'm going to repeat Unbearable Deluge. I'll just mark that with this, I guess. So I can play it in both A1 and A6. So each of those lands are defended 3. And I would push this here and then back here. So it doesn't change anything. So that is... that's the same. Yeah, so both those lands are defended 3, and I get 2 fear. Alright, event card. New species spread. New plants and animals brought by the invaders damage the local ecology. I may let the invasive species bloom. For each board, discard the top minor power, and if it's fast, add 1 blight to a land with towns or cities. After resolving, I just return it. Or I can transmute the worst of the species, cost us 4 energy per player, aided by Moon. 1 fear per player on each board, add 1 beast to a land with towns and cities. I kind of want to get more beasts out there. So I could forget Dark Sky's Lucis Stinging Rain. It's a good card, but Explorer control's not as fantastic against Scotland. The Isolate's very good. But I think I would rather do that. So I'm going to forget Dark Sky's Lucis Stinging Rain. Get 1 Fear. Add 1 Beast. And the Beast just makes targeting easier with Carapace Land. I can move presence around, so it's not too bad anyway. But let's put that in here. New diseases on half the boards rounded up. Add 1 disease. To a land with both Dahan and Invaders. Do 2 damage to Dahan there. Let's put that there. And then each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands gains 1 energy. Fortunately, I only have 1. 2 fear cards, entire level 1. Sense of Dread. On each board, remove 1 Explorer from a land matching a Ravage card. Okay. And Wary of the Interior. Each player removes 1 Explorer from an inland land. Perfect. So I can stop this build next turn, although they will get an extra town just from the Ravage, but that's okay. They won't build. Okay, well, it's kind of a weird interaction with Scotland, so they will build, but that's okay. Now I am isolating that land actually, so that's okay. Okay. Cool. So that's all set. So let's go into the Ravage. So right here, it's defended 3. They're doing 4 damage, so not enough. Right here, defended 3. The Han will fight back and kill that town, which gets me a fear. Then we push in, so they will get a town added to an inland land adjacent to towns and cities. But fortunately, this one's isolated, so there's no adjacent towns or cities, and I don't have to add a town there. So really good. Nice interaction. Isolate very strong against Scotland. Now we get the build. They're going to build in mountains, so they will build coastal city there. And that's alright. Next up, they're going to explore jungle. So we get that. The escalation is going to add a town to a land without a town, which I'll put it in there so I don't have to worry about the Ravage in a 6 next turn. And that's it. I'm back to growth. So I'll discard this card and figure out what I want to do. Now, we'll take a short break because I have to set something up. I'm back from a brief hiatus, hoping to finish up this game and get a level 6-1 win with Downpour. So let's see if I can do it. I'm starting a new turn, and I think this turn I could go for... I think I'm going to go for a growth 2. So I can go 2 presents, and I think I'm going to go 2 from top. I could go for 3 card plays, but I do have to discard 2 cards as part of this growth option. So I'm going to discard Gift of Abundance and Call to Trade. I definitely want to take 1 from top, and I think I'll throw that over in land 3 here. Which is a Ravage card. Okay. So yeah, I think that's good. So do I want the plant? That would unlock Water Nourishes Life, which is probably okay. I can remove a Blight, which is good. I won't get the energy just yet. But I think that's okay. So let's go top. And I'm going to put that guy over here. I also get to move a presence. I might let A8 go. It's not really a big deal at the moment. So actually, let me put that second presence in here, and then I'll move a presence. Oh no, I need that one there. Okay. Yeah, so I will do that. Put those there, and I suppose I'll move one into this land. Alright, I get 1 energy, just as part of growth. And then I'm going to play Carapace Land and sink Foundations into mud. Okay, cool. So I think that's good. Next I go into my fast powers. I'm going to use Carapace Land here in land number 1, defend its 6, because I have the threshold. They're going to be doing 7 damage there, so I'm not worried about spillover. I don't need to repeat it. So I'll defend this 6. Then I will use Water Nourishes Life's Growth here. Remove this presence to remove this blight. And I also get an energy for that. Don't quite have the 2nd level just yet. I'm actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have the 2nd level. So I can also gain an additional energy. That's really nice. And gather up to 1 to Han. Sure. May as well. Okay, that's pretty good. And then that means that I also have the 2nd level of this, so each of my presence grants defend 1 and lowers the Han counterattack damage by 1. So this is actually defended 8, so that's even better. So yeah, awesome. So that's my fast power set. I'm going to go to an event. I've got Gradual Corruption. On each board, add 1 blight to a land with towns or cities. And spirits may prevent this on any and all boards by paying X energy per board to protect, where X is the number of cards in the invader discard. So that's 2 energy. I think I would rather keep the energy. I just removed a blight, so I can add 1 back, and that's not a big deal. And I'll probably be able to remove that again pretty soon. And I do have ways to get my presence back on the board, so that's not a big deal. Alright, fatalities rise in each land with disease. 1 damage to each invader and 1 damage to each Dahan. So 1 damage to each of these. And then Blessings of Bounty and Health. Each spirit may add 1 Dahan to one of its lands with Dahan. Awesome. Let's do it here. Okay, going pretty well so far. No fear cards this turn, so straight into the Ravage. This one's defended 8, so they're doing 7 damage, not enough to bite the land. Now after the Ravage step, I do add a town in an inland land that matches the Ravage card. It was not isolated this time, so land A6 does get a town. Now we're going to build in jungles. We've got a city up there, and a city here. So 2 coastal lands with cities. I can't let a 3rd one go through, so A2 is an issue. But I think I'm going to wipe out A1 this turn, so probably okay. Alright, and then explore mountains and jungles. Mountains again. Okay. So those get there. That's actually alright. It's just more fodder for me to destroy with Foundation Sink into Mud. Okay, cool. So now that I've done that, I go to slow powers. I'm going to use Foundation Sink into Mud, which I will repeat twice, to do 3 damage to all towns and cities in A1. Wiping that out, and generating 5 fear. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And that'll be good, so I won't get a build there next turn. So I've emptied that out, I don't have to worry about A1. Cool, so I'll just have to worry about A3, really. And A8, there are a couple issues here, but I think I'll be alright. Okay, cool, so that's all set. I can discard cards. And go back to growth. And I have no cards, so I'm going to reclaim. Gonna stick with miners, I think. Because I don't have a lot of energy yet. So I've got some good ones. Terror Turns to Madness. Free card with water, so that's potentially a lot of fear on Recleats. It's target level 1. That's probably going to be the play. Gift of Nature's Connection is pretty good as well. 2 elements, but really I want the elements on the card. So I'm between Terror Turns to Madness and Call to Guard. Call to Guard is nice. Adding defense, gathering Dahan is pretty good. Let's see, these healed. So potentially good. It does not have water though. I've already got 1 miner without water, so I think going Terror Turns to Madness is probably better. It's just going to generate a lot of fear for me, and I do need to eat through this fear deck. I guess I don't have to. Theoretically, Downpour can win in Terror level 1. Yeah, I like the ability to get lots of fear for free on a repeat. So I'm going to go Terror Turns to Madness. Okay. I also get to move a presence too. I'm going to go over yonder. And I can move a presence 1. Let's see. I only got 2 card plays right now. I can let the Ravage go in A8 and then try to stop it next turn. I think that'll be alright. Because A3 is a bigger issue at the moment. Or I could potentially just turn that Ravage in A3 into a build and set up a big defend there next turn. That might be even better. Or the big defend this turn. Either way, I think I'm in decent shape. Let's see. They're doing 6 defense there, so they'll wipe out the city. They won't quite kill everything. But I can defend it with just a repeated Carapace land, so it's not too bad. So Carapace land is probably going to be played here as well. I can repeat that. Potentially Foundation sink into mud again. I'll only have 3 water if I do that though, so I won't have 2 repeats for Foundation sink into mud, which I really need. So probably not. Yeah, unfortunately I can't wipe everything out in A3. So I think I'm going to change this up. Instead of taking Terror Turns to Madness, I am going to take Call to Guard. That's going to set up a bigger counterattack in A3. So I'm going to play Call to Guard. And I've got this Move a Presence. I don't really want to move into A8, so I think I'll move that one there as that Move a Presence. So I'm going to get a Defend 4 from Call to Guard, and I probably need Carapace land as well. Which I could potentially repeat once. So repeat one of these once. Let's see, how much damage are they doing in A8? They're doing 5, 6, 7... 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So I can't really set up a defense in both places with only one repeat. Unfortunately, that would be really cool if I could. Could do more. Yeah. So I'll worry about A8 next turn. I'll let it Ravage this turn. It's not a big deal. And I should be able to stop the... Yeah, I'll be fine with that. So I can stop the Ravage there next turn. So that'll be okay. No problem. Okay, so that's my turn. I get 1 energy. These were free, so no costs to deal with. So I'm going to go into fast powers. I'm going to use Call to Guard here to gather this Dahan. And then I'm going to go ahead and use it for a defend 4. Carapace land there as well with Threshold, so this is defended 10, just in case some extra damage comes out from an event. And I've got a big counterattack to wipe that out now, so that'll be good. I don't have Rain and Mud suppress conflict, and unfortunately I don't have Water nourishes life's growth either. I'm 1 water short, so can't do anything with that, but that's okay. This will wipe out a problem land, and I'm in good shape to have a solid turn next turn. So those are my fast powers. Let's go into an event. I've got Outpaced. Ooh. Fortunately, I don't have any slow powers out. So humanity has always been faster than you, but the invader's terrifying speed catches you off guard. Each spirit chooses independently for each of their slow powers played this turn. Unfortunately, I had no slow powers, so I don't have to worry about this whatsoever. Lingering Plagues on each board add 1 disease. Ignore disease during builds this invader phase. Cool, that's pretty good. I'll be able to stop a city from getting into A2. And then Raids in Force. Each spirit chooses a different land where Dahan outnumber towns and cities. And I've got the Coastal Explorer coming up next, so this actually works out pretty well, I think. Alright, cool. So on each board, add 1 disease, ignore disease. Okay, Raids in Force. Each spirit chooses a different land where Dahan outnumber towns and cities. Each Dahan there does 1 damage. Okay, cool. Well, I do 4 damage here. Get that out of the way right now. Which does get me a 2nd Fear card for the Fear phase. So. Alright, Flee from dangerous lands. On each board, push 1 town or explorer from a land with Dahan, Badlands, Wilds. Sure, I can stop a city from being built here, which will make that much easier to deal with. I'll just stack up in A8, and I'll worry about that later. And Theological Strife. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with presence. Alright, let's go to the Ravage. A8 is going to successfully Ravage, which is fine. And then this one's defended 10, so that Dahan will fight back and kill those 2 towns. After a successful Ravage, add a town to the, let's see, to each inland land that matches a Ravage card, so another town goes into A8. And that land eventually is going to be a really huge target for Foundation Sink in the Mud. Alright, so then I get a build in Mountains and Jungles. And no builds in my coasts, because they are not adjacent to cities. So, much easier to lock down those builds than it is with England's special build rule. And then we get the Coastal Explorer. So I'm going to do my Explorer over into A1. Town here. Town there. Alright, and I think I'm still in good shape. I have no slow powers, so I'm just going to discard cards and go back to growth. And for growth this turn, I need to stop the Ravage over in A8. So, I want to get an Unbearable Deluge and a Call to Trade set up. So those are going to be my card plays. So with those cards in mind, I could go up to 3 card plays so that I have that for next turn. How much water would I have if I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 2 repeats potentially, which is quite nice. If I can get a Dahan into A1, I can stop that from building next turn. That'll be pretty good. So repeating Unbearable Deluge is going to be important. So I can push Dahan around where I want them. And I've got enough repeats, I'll have pretty good energy. I don't know that I want to discard cards though. I think I want to put off the Reclaim a little bit. And I don't need 3 repeats. 2 will be enough. So I am going to go for a growth 3 instead. I get an energy. Get to add a presence at a range of 3. Let's see. I'm going to go from bottom, so next turn I can get to 3 card plays. Go in there. Then with my move a presence, I'm going to move in here, which will let me remove that blight. I guess I could remove the blight over an A8. That might be better. Although jungle is not going to come up, at least next, so I can probably ignore that for the time being. So I think that's good. Gain a power card. And it might be time to go for a major. I'm going to have a decent amount of energy this turn, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for a major. Not going to play it this turn, but possibly next turn would be good for it. So let's see what I get. Entwine Power, it's fine. It's not amazing in a true solo game, I don't think, so probably won't get that. The nice thing is that you get 2 powers, but which is not bad. And I could potentially threshold it for 3 energy. It's tempting. Manifest Incarnation's fun. Probably pretty good in this matchup. I can't really threshold it though, it's a little expensive. Spill Bitterness into the Earth, it does have water. I don't really have any water fire cards, so I'm not going to be able to threshold that. Adds Blight, range 0, it's fine. Poison Land, I do have the ability to threshold that, which is pretty good. Adding Blight, stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, let's go with Poison Land. I might not use it, but it combines pretty nicely with Carapace Land in order to threshold. I'm going to forget Call to Guard, as good as it is. I think if I'm going Poison Land, I want to be able to threshold it. So let's take that. And it probably won't be used just yet, but it will be pretty good here in a couple turns. Potentially. I mean, I do have Unbearable. I do have Foundation Sink into Mud, which is potentially better, but I don't want to get in a reclaim loop where I'm playing that every turn. So having every other turn is probably good. Okay. So that's the card gain. I move my presence in here. I guess I could move it in there and then set up a Poison Land in that land next turn, but it's not going to be an issue. So I don't think that I need to worry about it. So I will still go there. I think. Or I could save Unbearable Deluge maybe for something else. Let's see, how much stuff is in that land? Quite a bit. 6 health, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 health worth of invaders up there. I can potentially do, well, at least 11 with Poison Land, which is pretty good. Okay, I'm still going to take it. I'll see if I can set it up in the future. But I'm not playing it this turn. This turn I am playing Unbearable Deluge and Call to Trade. I get 1 energy from Presence, which I'll play on Call to Trade. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. That'll be good. So let's get into it. Fast powers. So first up, I have Water Nourishes Life's Growth. I'm going to gain 1 energy and remove this Presence in order to remove this Blight. I also have, let's see, I have 4 water, not 5, so I don't have this one, but I don't need it. It'll be fine this turn. Oh, I forgot they were ravaging here. Well, that's okay, because I have Rain and Mud Suppress Conflict, so each of my presence does grant defend 1 and lowers Dahan counterattack damage by 1, so that's okay. So that'll actually stop that ravage, so I'll mark that just for the future. That also applies up here. However, here, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to use Unbearable Deluge in this land. 1 fear. Then I'm going to push that Dahan into A1 and defend it 3. So that land is now defended 5. It's also isolated, but yeah, that probably won't matter. Alright, and then, let's see. Alright, I'm going to repeat, use my first repeat on Unbearable Deluge right here, another fear, and push this Dahan in this land. And then I'm going to use Call to Trade up there. So I may gather a Dahan, and then if the terror level is 2 or lower, which it is, then I gather 1 town, which I'll gather this one actually. So that it kind of ignores the Scotland 6 effect. And then the first Ravage in that land becomes a build there instead. So that land's pretty stacked up, which is going to be great for a big foundation sink into mud. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay. So that's all set. I have another repeat, but I don't think I want to use it. Instead, I could use it to push some Dahan into A2 to set up a counterattack there next turn. I don't really need the energy, I'm pretty good on energy. So yeah, I think I'll do another Unbearable Deluge in here to push those 3 Dahan. Let's defend 3, and that land is now isolated. So, which means they won't get an extra town there next turn, so that's pretty good. So isolated as well. Unfortunately, I don't have teal isolate tokens. And yeah, I'm in pretty good shape this turn. It's going much better than last game. So let's do an event and see if I can ruin that. Oh, no. There we go. I'm back. 1 second. Oh, that was strange. I'm not sure what happened, but I think it looks okay. So hopefully there's no issues with the recording here. Cool. So that was all my fast powers. So let's go into an event. Tight-knit communities. So for the rest of this turn, towns and cities have +1 health. That's actually hurts me over in A3, so that's an issue. But I have Coming of Age, so that'll save me. Each beast destroys 1 explorer. Add 1 beast on a board without 1. That actually is super helpful. Although I was going to get the counterattack there anyway. And then Coming of Age on each board, add 1 Dahan to a coastal land with Dahan, which I need now over in A3. Alright, so now that I've got that, I'm going to go into a fear card. Fear card is Spreading Timidity. Each player chooses a land to isolate. Excellent. Let's isolate A1. So now A6, A1, A3, and A7 all isolated. I've got half this map isolated right now. Alright, so after my isolations, we're going to a Ravage. They Ravage here, do nothing. Here, 1 damage, it's nothing. Here, they're doing 2 damage, it's defended 5, and then the Dahan counterattack is going to be 6, but it's reduced to 4. It's still enough to kill this town. And then in A8, it's a build instead of a Ravage. So that's pretty stacked. Okay, cool. Then the Ravage is going to shift, and I get to add a town to an inland land matching a Ravage card, which will go here, not into A6 because it's isolated. So, just the 1. And then we've got build in coastal. So no build here, no build here. And this one's isolated, so no build there either. Yeah, I'm in really good shape right now. Now we get to wetlands, finally. Okay. So that is an issue in A2, but I think I can deal with it. We'll see. Alright, so wetlands coming out. I get the escalation as well, so out of town to a land without a town, basically. Let's do an A6. And then I'm all set, ready to go. So no slow powers, so I'll discard cards and go back to growth. And A2 is an issue. I can potentially get a lot of presence in there though, so my defense is really high. So I'm not super worried about it. I won't get the counterattack kill, unfortunately. But I can just destroy everything in there with Foundation Sink into Mud, so it'll be okay. So yeah, I'm not going to play Poison Land. I do want to get another power card, I think just a minor. Let's see, I get an energy for this. I'm going to be up to 7 energy, but I'm going to be repeating some stuff. Well, I'm also going to get a bunch of energy from other sources. It might be worth it fishing for a better major. Let's see, with 7 energy, I still don't have a ton for repeating majors. I'm pretty happy with the minors and stuff that I have, even just my normal cards. So minor, major, it's a tough choice. I'm going to be reclaiming next turn, so on the reclaim I could gain a minor. Let's go with a major, I'll fish for one. I've got the energy for it. I don't need defense aside from an A2, but I can do that with just Rain and Mud Suppress Conflict. So yeah, I think I'm good. As long as I get a card with water. So yeah, that's the goal. So fishing worked out. I have I have some good ones. I have Vigor, which does not have water, but it's a great card. Yeah, that would be 4 damage there. That would kill 2 towns. Help me wipe that land out. Potentially very good. So Trees and Stone Speak of War, also pretty good. That one I could threshold this turn. Which would get me a lot of Dahan over into A3. Wow, this is a tough choice. I think of these, as much as Briny Depths is fun, casting the Briny Deep, that one I'm not taking. Too expensive, and these other cards are just way better. So, Cleansing Floods. Honestly, while the water is great, I don't think that I need it. 10 damage is awesome. It would... I mean, if I repeat that, I would completely wipe out A8 and remove the Blight there. It's probably better than Poison Land. Will I have the energy for that? Let's see, I'm going to have 7. Get 1 from Water Nourishes Life's Growth, so 8. Get 2 from Gift of Abundance. So 10. Yeah, I won't have enough to repeat Cleansing Floods this turn. But I do have enough to repeat Vigor, or Trees and Stone Speak of War. So while normally Cleansing Floods would be an amazing card on Downpour, in this particular case, I think that either of these cards is better. So Trees and Stones by itself would take care of A2. I just have to repeat it once. So in this case, while Vigor is probably better in most cases, I think I like Trees and Stone Speak of War more, actually. It's cheaper as well, so it's easier for me to repeat. Yeah, so let's do that. I'm going to go avoid the top tier vigor and go for the slightly less top tier trees and stone speak of war. I'll just forget poison land. That's not gonna be needed really anymore because I can do foundation sink into mud over an A8. I'm gonna take from bottom. I'm not gonna need to get up to 5 water, so that's fine. Although I would like to have another repeat so I can completely clear A8. I don't think I'm gonna get there. Yeah, I only have 2 repeats, so although I have Gift of Abundance, so yeah, I'll be good. Yeah, I'll be fine. I can wipe out A8 and take care of A2 this turn, and I'm in fantastic shape this game, so I'm okay. So let's put this up in A8. I will move I'll get 1 presence for presence track, 1 energy for presence track. Move 1 of my presents into A8. Yeah, that's all that I need to do really. So I guess I'll move another presence over into A4. I don't have to worry about the coastal wetland anymore. And I'm all set. I'm gonna play my 3 cards. And really at this point, with the way that the board is set up and the cards that I have, I don't think that there's a way that I can lose. That might be overconfidence, though. We'll see if Scotland can strike back at me. But I'm in an incredibly strong position, even sitting at Terra level 1, to close this game out pretty quickly. So you might think, looking at A8, oh, it looks terrible. There's all this stuff in the blight there. It's all going to be gone in this low phase. So unless events conspire to destroy things, I think I will be okay. So let's go to it. So first up, I'm going to use Trees and Stones Speak of War into A2, which I will then... oh, you know what? Instead of moving that presence into the desert, I'm going to move a 3rd presence here into A8, and you'll see why in a second. So, but either way, Trees and Stones Speak of War is going into this land. So 1 damage and defend 2 per Dahan. Terra level 2, that's defended 4. And just for safety, in case they get something that increases town damage or increases invader damage, I'm going to repeat that there. So do another 2 damage here. And another defend 4, so it's defended 8 now. Then I'm going to use Gift of Abundance, which will let me repeat a power card by paying its cost. So I do need to use Water Nourishes Life's Growth first. So I do have the 1st level for that. I don't have the 2nd level, unfortunately, but I only need the 1 energy, so that's okay. Then I'm going to remove a presence here to remove the blight. Board's looking quite healthy. Now I will use Gift of Abundance, and I'm going to let myself repeat a power card by paying its cost. And either me or target spirit, which is myself, may add 1 destroyed presence to a wetland where I have presence. So let's go up in there. So nice big stack. Alright, and just in case something weird happens, each of my presence grants defend 1 and lowers the Dahan counterattack damage by 1. Alright, let's go to an event. Seeking the Interior, stage 2 and 3, so local diaspora, and the single land with the most invaders push 1 explorer or town to each adjacent land. That's fine. I can just push the explorers out, and that'll let me kill everything in there, because the explorers were the one thing that was going to be left over at the end of this turn. Now, Beast Prowl. Each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present, and moves to an adjacent land if not. And then Forsake the Barren Land. On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with blight to a land without blight. There is no blight on the board, so that's okay. Alright, Fear card, Terror level 2 now. Depart the dangerous land. Each player removes one explorer or town from a land with beasts, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. So I'll get rid of, well, I can stop a city from being built, so let's do that. Okay, that's good. Now I go to the invader phase. They will ravage in coastal lands. This one's defended 8. Coastal lands, there are no interior coastal lands, so they don't get extra towns from that. Build in wetlands. Just that. And then explore jungles and wetlands. Okay. Well, there will be one guy left there. That's alright. Alright, and now I go to the slow flower phase. So using 2 of my water and the repeat from Gift of Abundance, I'm going to repeat Foundation Sink into Mud twice. So I can do 3 damage to every town and city up in land A8, completely wiping it from the map, aside from one lone explorer who just got there. He's wondering what's going on. This was a very populated area, and suddenly all my friends are gone. And that's because it's just been raining there for years on end. Years and years of rain has made that uninhabitable. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fear. So 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 fear. So that's pretty good. So you can see the power of Foundation Sink in the Mud with this. Very, very good. That was my only slip power, so now I'm going to discard cards and go back to growth. Unfortunately, that did cost me all of my energy. I could have saved 2 if I didn't repeat this Trees and Stones Speak of War, and it turned out that I didn't need it, mostly for safety, just in case extra damage came out. I didn't want that. I'm reclaiming. I'm going to get a miner, because now I'm very poor. So my options are, let's stick with ones with water. I don't need Delusions of Danger or Purifying Flame anyway, so that's fine. There's no blight to remove, and I don't really need to push lone explorers around. So my choices are Steam Vents or Voracious Growth. Voracious Growth, 2 damage. I mean, I can target wetlands. I can make any land a wetland, so that's good. Makes it a little bit more flexible than most spirits. Steam Vents just destroys those guys. They both cost 1. They're both okay. Yeah, I think Voracious Growth might be slightly better here. So I'll go with that, I guess. Just a little bit more versatile. Makes it easier to hit the highest level of Water Nourishes Life's Growth. Alright, I can move a presence at a range of 2. Let's see, I've got 2 Ravages coming up. Which I can... unfortunately, I don't have 2 energy. I'm going to have 1 energy this turn. So where do I want to move that presence? Probably from here, somewhere. Let's go in here. I should be able to get a pretty big defense just from my normal presence, so that'll be fine. Defend 2, yeah. Okay, let's see. So I can also, I have 2 move presences on my tracks. I'm going to move 1 in here. That'll remove my Sacred Slate over an A3, but I think that's fine. I can deal with A3 later. A5 is going to be an issue. I would love to get some Dahan in there. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of call to guard. Alright, so I've only got one energy this turn. Let's pull this guy in here. I should be able to get Rain and Mud Suppress Conflict at its highest level. I'll need to play my free cards, so Carapace Land anyway. Unbearable Deluge is pretty good. That'll let me push some Dahan around. And then I can do one of my 1-cost cards. Don't really need to do Gift of Abundance. Foundation Sink into Mud, always good. I don't know that it's needed. Let's see. It's probably not needed, but I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I do need the water from that, so that's okay. Let's stick with that. Go with Foundation Sink into Mud. And see what I can do. Yeah, only 4 water this turn. I wish it'd be nice if I had that other one, but I'll have that soon. So next turn. Okay, going into fast powers then. Let's go with Unbearable Deluge. Let's go Carapace Land first. I have the threshold on it, so it's defends 6. So I will use that in this land, as well as this land. It'll just be a repeat, so that's one of my repeats with my 4 water. Means I won't get 2 Foundation Sink in the Muds. Or I won't get 3. I could have 2, but I'll probably just use it for an energy. Water nourishes life's growth. I have the first level, so I'm going to get an energy from that. Doesn't matter where I do it, just somewhere where I have presence. Rain and Mud Suppress Conflict. I don't know that I even want to use it. I might just rather get counterattack set up. Yeah. So stopping a city from being built, probably worth it. So let's do Unbearable Deluge. Let's use it on the coast. So I'm going to use that here, which will isolate that land. Oh, it's a 0 range. Shoot. Yeah, I can't use it there. Okay. So I'll use it up here. 1 fear. Pushes that Dahan into that land. That A8 is defended, isolated, all that stuff. And I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use Foundation Sink in the Mud to repeat. I'm just going to use it to do 2 damage to a town. So I'll just gain 2 energy with the extra 2 water that I have. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's go into an event. I've got Urbanization in each land with at least 2 towns, which is none, so I don't have to worry about that. Invaders do not ravage in lands with disease or strife, doesn't matter. And retreat on each board, push 2 Dahan from lands with cities. Well, there are no cities, so I don't have to worry about that. So if I could somehow get a push quickly to Terra level 3, I would win. I think more likely I'm going to win in Terra level 2, but we'll see. Dahan Raid. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. 1 damage per Dahan there. That's pretty good. I want to stop the build here, so I'll kill that. Also gets me another fear card for this turn. Panic. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with Dahan or animals or disease. And then for the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Cool. So, well, that'll get rid of more stuff there. Dahan reclaim. Oh, actually, it's gonna get removed when they ravage, so yeah, that actually doesn't matter. So I'll throw it in here instead. Dahan reclaim fishing grounds. Each player chooses a different coastal land. In each, gather up to 1 Dahan, and then 1 damage per Dahan. I'll leave that there. Do this one. Communities in disarray. Towns and cities each deal -1 damage during ravage, and invaders do not heal damage at the end of the turn. Cool. Cool. Alright. Let's go into a ravage. Ravage in wetlands. So this one's empty. This one will ravage. It's defended 6. They're doing 5 damage. Dahan will fight back. Kill the town. I guess they will get another town thanks to Scotland, so they will build a city anyway. That's alright. So after the ravage, they will get a town into A5. Then they're going to build. Isolate doesn't stop the build, so that's fine. City, and no city adjacent to A2 or 3, so those stay empty. I am getting close to the end of the invader deck here. That's a little scary. Explore into sands and mountains. Alright. So as clean as the board is, I do need to start making a push towards winning. So let's see if I can do that. So that's that. I've got Foundation Sink in the Mud, which I guess I'll just use in A5 to destroy a town. I could do it up in A8 as well, which maybe is better, then I don't have to worry about it. Now, let's okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll see if I can do something else about A5. So that's one fear. And that was my only slip card. So, discard cards. And go back to growth. Alright, so I do have to worry about A5. I can turn that into a into just a build instead of a ravage though, which is probably okay, and that would let me potentially deal with it later, so that's probably the way to go. Jungles are fine, so I don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about A2. So yeah, just playing Call to Trade is going to stop that ravage in A5, and I can deal with it in the future. Okay, cool. So I've got that set. I could go for 2 presents. Unlocks an air, but I don't really need to do that, so I'm going to go growth 3. It gets me an energy. I'm going to add from top, but let me gain a power card first. And I think I'll just gain a minor. Yeah. Now, if I can get some fast Dahan movement, that would be ideal. And I do. I get Promises Protection. So that's probably the way to go. Also, Skies Herald the Season of Return, both fast Dahan movement. So I like those. Let's see. One is free. Promises Protection is free fast Dahan movement. But Skies Herald has a grass, and it lets me add Destroyed Presence back on the board, which is very nice. So let's see which one I prefer. Set up for big counterattacks with trees and stone speak of war. threshold it with call to trade and promises of protection. Okay. Yeah, let's go with promises of protection. I don't need those 2 destroyed presents back on the board, and I have another way to get them back anyway. I like the fact that it's free. I get to add a presence, so I'll do that. One of these lands, I guess this one. No, coast might be better. No, it's okay. Okay, yeah, I think actually this will work pretty well. Because I can threshold a couple things. I'm going to have a decent amount of water. Let's see, I'm going to have just 4 water, but that's okay. Okay, so I have 2 presence movements. Let's get this guy in here. Call to trade. I might be able to let them ravage there. Gift of Abundance or Voracious Growth. Okay. Let's see how much damage. They're doing 5, 6, 7, 8 damage in A5. I can probably get enough defense in there that I don't have to worry about that. So let's move this presence in here. That's my second move presence. Okay, I get 1 energy, so that's good. I know that I'm playing Trees and Stones Speak of War. I know that I'm playing Call to Trade. And Promises of Protection. So those, well actually I don't know that I'm playing Call to Trade. I could do better, I think. Because I could potentially just defend A5, 8 enough to deal with that. So Gift of Abundance might be better to give me more energy for repeating Trees and Stones Speak of War. Oh yeah, let's do that. That'll give me Rain and Mud Suppress Conflict as well, just in case that I need it. I don't think that I will, but, you know, it's nice to have. So those are my cards. Let's pay for them. And then see what I can do. So first up, I have Water Nourishes Life's Growth, so I get 1 energy. Only don't have 5 water yet, so that's miss out on an extra energy, but that's okay. Let's see what I want to do. So Promises of Protection, I'm going to gather 2 Dahan in here. Then I'm going to use Trees and Stones Speak of War, which I have thresholded. So we'll use that in land A1, doing 3 damage. That gets me very, very close. I'm 4 away from Terror level 3, so I think I've won this actually in the Ravage phase. We'll see, play it out though. I have this thresholded, so I can move 2 Dahan, which carries their defend effect with them. The defend effect is defend 2 per Dahan in target land. So I have defend 6 now in A5. Now let's use Trees and Stones Speak of War. Actually, I think I've got it right now. So I'm going to repeat Trees and Stones Speak of War in this land, doing 3 damage to that city. No, don't have it. That's alright. So that gets me 2 fear. And that land is defended like 12, so it's fine. So defend 12, something like that. And I have Gift of Abundance as well. I also only use 1 of my repeats, so I can do it again. So that would just about wipe that land out. I'm gonna be like one fear short of just winning this right now. I don't have a way to get that extra fear. Shoot. Could possibly get it from the event or from the fear card even. Alright. So do I want to use Promise of Protection or Trees and Stone Speak of War again? Let's repeat Promise's Protection. I'll gather 2 Dahan into this land. Oh, actually, I'll put that there. Gather these two. And then with Gift of Abundance, I think... Yeah, I can't... Can't quite do it again. Okay, so Gift of Abundance, I'm just going to gain 2 energy. I can add a Destroyed Presence, into a wetland somewhere. I'll just do it here. Yep, that's it. Okay. So now I go to the invader phase. So we get events. Sacred sites under threat. Well, I have a bunch of those. So invaders have begun to find hidden places of natural power. You can let the island's strength repulse them. Each sacred site pushes 1 explorer or town to an adjacent land. Remove 1 blight per player from the blight card, returning it to the box. I can guard them myself for good or ill. You know what? That's defended 12. I think I'm gonna push a town from this sacred site into here. I can remove 1 blight per player from that card. That's fine. And that land's defended enough that I should be good. Beast Prowl. Each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present. That's 2 fear. Cool. So that is all that I needed. So that's by myself. I would have won in the Ravage, as destroying those 2 towns in A5 would have gotten me that fear as well. But getting it from the event is very nice. Beast Prowl. Spirit Speakers solve riddles of power. Each spirit with at least 4 Dahan amongst lands gains a minor power, so I would have gotten that. I'm not going to bother playing that out because I am in Terra level 3 and there are no cities on the map. I win this game. So this was a fun one. This seems like a very good matchup. I do like Downpour a lot. I need to play them more. So yeah, this was a 71 point game, which is quite nice. It's good to get that and break that 70 point barrier in true solo against things that aren't France. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I think Downpour is a very fun spirit. Very strong. They're good into a lot of matchups, and I think this one plays into a lot of their strengths. Against Scotland, Isolate's very strong. They might actually be the best adversary to showcase how strong Isolate can be. England's up there as well. But I think Scotland has more things that interact with Isolate. So yeah, having Isolate against Scotland is great. At one point I had 4 of the lands isolated, which was fantastic. So yeah, it's a pretty strong effect, and especially strong into this particular matchup. So this finishes up my series going through each of the adversaries at level 6. My last 7 videos are about the 7 adversaries with new spirits that I haven't beaten those adversaries with before. So next I'm going to start getting into some newer stuff. Not sure what yet. I'm still planning that out. If there's any particular spirit pairing or spirit matchup that you'd like to see, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But I will, of course, see you all next week. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.